Introducing PSP's brand new high-quality parametric equalizer, the MasterQ2. The plugin contains 7 filters, including high pass and low pass, all with adjustable frequency and Q. It also contains a lot of unique advanced functions that make it incredibly versatile in the creation, mixing, and mastering processes, and we're going to show these in the next few minutes. The MasterQ2 is currently running on the master bus of my mix playing in the background. Let's have a listen to the equalized master with some saturation, then switch processing off to compare the extreme difference in polish it's making to my track. Let's dive into its mechanics. Each filter is color-coded across the spectrum from red to blue, and can be adjusted either by dragging a dot on the graph or by moving its knobs. Any filter can be disabled by clicking its top button. Any filter can be soloed by clicking its solo button at the bottom. Holding down the Command key on Mac or the Control key on Windows, you can activate the Frequency Hunter mode, which solos just that band. While holding down the key, you can even drag the frequency left or right in order to easily identify resonances or other critical frequencies. The range slider provides an easy way to scale the overall effectiveness of the EQ to exaggerate or diminish its effects without changing the overall shape. You can even invert the EQ curve entirely. Double-click to reset the slider. The level slider sets the output level of the EQ before it enters the limiting saturation section. The low shelf, low peak filter features a unique linked filter mode. Clicking on the link button now links all of the filters together, and they can now be moved up or down easily. When in linked filter mode, the other filters get plus and minus buttons, which let you adjust between harmonics of the fundamental frequency that the low shelf peak filter is set to. The shelf LED buttons on the second and sixth filters allow you to switch between the shelf filter, which is active when the light is on, and the peak filter when the light is off. The central filters feature a special button to allow more of a flat top peak to any filter. There's also a Q+ mode that can be activated by clicking the plus button. Q+ is a gain-related Q mode in which Q changes continuously depending on the gain value, just like it works in many classic analog EQs. Phase can be adjusted in the polarity section. Click a channel to flip its phase, or click in the middle to reverse the polarity of both channels. The route area allows you to select which channels get routed to the limiter saturation section of the plugin. You can choose mid, left, stereo, right, or side. In the lower corner of the plugin are some global controls. The process button controls whether the plugin is doing any processing at all. Switching it off bypasses all its DSP. The FAT button activates PSP's proprietary frequency authentication technique, a high-quality double sampling technology that results in more accurate and transparent high-frequency filtrations. The reset button, which is activated by double-clicking it, will instantly reset the range and level sliders, as well as all of the filters to their default values. Underneath the buttons are the channel routing switches. By default, MasterQ is applying the equalization to both sides of my stereo mix. By using the other buttons, I can set it to only affect the mid, left, right, or side channel. Note that the stereo mix is always passed to the stereo section, the level slider, and the limiting and saturation section. In the analog setup area, you can control the character and the amount of saturation inside the 5 central filters. This is a subtle effect to mimic analog equalizers. The stereo setup area lets you adjust stereo width and balance of the overall mix. Turning width to 0 results in a mono fall-down. Finally, there are limiting and saturation controls. You can choose between 7 different limiting and saturation modes. The Vintage Limiter mode is the warm algorithm from PSP's Vintage Warmer. Use limiter soft or hard for standard brick wall limiting. Try dynamic saturation with a soft or a hard knee when you need a balance between saturation and limiting due to its transient content. Adjust the ceiling knob clockwise to lower the limiting or saturation level, or go counterclockwise to increase the gain reduction. There's a button to automatically adjust makeup gain. When it's engaged, the output signal will be adjusted so as to not exceed -0.1 dB full scale. This has been a quick overview of the plugin, and there's a lot more to it. If you need to access its manual, just click on the question mark at the bottom right of the plugin, which links directly to its manual, which contains a lot more detail. And that's a look at PSP's brand new MasterQ2, a high-quality and extremely powerful parametric equalizer with an amazing degree of flexibility and analog emulation controls, ideal for creation, mixing, and mastering.